Little ponies can do big things. One evening, Crockett just finished his round trip around the museum and was looking forward to a rest. "Hey, Crockett," said Judy. "Didn't have any wrecks today, have you?" "I'd say, no I haven't. I had a fine trip today, thank you. Even back in my days on the Mount Mitchell Road, I didn't have any accidents. By the way, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be back in Roanoke where you belong?" "I would, but I just finished a round excursion today out on the main line, and now I have to spend the night here." "Oh, okay, Judy, I guess that makes sense. And speaking of wrecks, now that you brought it up, it reminded me of a very tall tale that happened a very long time ago." "What's the story?" "Judy, you mean to tell me that you never heard of the legend of Casey Jones and his engine Jr.?" "No, I haven't. Can you tell me it? Please?" "Oh, all right, Judy, I'll tell you. Let me begin. Long, long ago, in the year 1900, there was a little town called Jackson, Tennessee, and there was a man known as Casey Jones. His real name is John Luther Jones, but he got the nickname Casey Jones from his childhood, and he had a fine engine of his own named Junior. Some people call him by his number 382, but most call him by Junior. Casey Jones was the best engineer to work on the Illinois Central Railroad. He done a fine job, and he always had his trains on time. And whenever Casey Jones went through town, he would always blow that famous whistle on Junior. "There goes Casey Jones," they would say. One day, Junior and Casey were taking a freight train down the line when they noticed something on the tracks ahead. "This is fun." "Oh no! Casey, there's a couple of kids on the tracks!" "I see them, Junior, and not a moment to lose." Casey went back into Junior's cab and blew Junior's whistle as loud as ever. The kids were able to get off the track, except for one who turned around and was frozen in fear. Casey, we have a problem. She won't move!" "Don't worry, Junior. I know what to do. Leave it to me." Casey went to the front of Junior's cowcatcher and put his arms out. Junior was worried. He wondered, what is he doing? And at last the girl was saved. Casey catched her with his bare arms, and the girl was safe. April 29th, 1900, Junior was scheduled to take a mail/passenger train to Canton, Mississippi. All the passengers were boarding, but the engineer got sick, so Casey was called in to do the next run, alongside Sim Webb, the fireman. "Alright, Sim, you ready?" "As I'll ever be, Casey." So they climbed into Junior's cab, and off they went. Junior's train was getting very late, so Casey had to pull out the throttle on Junior in order to be on time. Casey, do you think we'll be on time at this rate of speed?" "Of course we will, Sim. We'll be just fine, and we'll be on time, like we normally are." "Casey is right, Sim. We'll be on time. Don't you worry." But then there was trouble. The three didn't know that there was a freight train stuck on the main line. Junior and Sim saw two bright lights at the back of the train, but didn't realize it till then. Casey?" "Yeah, Sim?" "Do you see something down the track?" No." "Oh golly, I do! There's two red lights at the back of the train! We must stop!" Casey applied Junior's brakes as hard as ever, then told Sim to jump for his life. "Sim, you must jump!" What about you, Casey? Don't worry about me, I'll be fine, you just go. So Sim did. He climbed down the steps and then jumped. Then he was knocked out unconscious. Casey pulled the brakes and pulled Junior's whistle cord as loud as ever to warn the other people. Brace yourself, Junior, he called out. Junior shut his eyes tight, knowing there'd be a crash. The crash was awful. Junior laid on his side, and the other train that he crashed into laid on its side. Luckily, all the passengers on board were okay, including Sim. We're alive! We're alive! Coughed Junior. Casey! Where's Casey? Where is he? I don't know. I hope he's okay in my cab. Casey! Casey! But the two realized that Casey didn't make it. Sim found him underneath Junior's cab, and Sim was so upset. And Junior was upset too. He had just lost his friend/best driver in the world. Weeks later, Junior was repaired and back in business, and the driver who was sick last time was better and was back to working with Junior again. But Junior was still sad about losing Casey. But he knew he had to move on, and he carried on being a really useful engine. Wow, that story was heartwarming and sad at the same time. I feel so bad for Junior and Casey. Yeah, me too. And even to this day, they write songs about him, even made a museum and pretty much everything about him. What about Junior? Oh, Junior? Well, he retired not long after, but he's okay. Somewhere. Oh, and I'm sorry for teasing you about Rex, Crockett, but thank you for telling me that story. No problem, and it's okay if you teased me. We all make mistakes. And let's also hope you don't run into any freight trains next time you do excursions out on the main line. And Crockett and Judy laughed for the rest of the night and promised to never talk about train wrecks again.